Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at the SEL5 mini PC from Beelink. This system has the Ryzen 5 5500U and the specific model I picked up has the 16GB RAM kit as well as 500GB of NVMe storage. Picked it up on Amazon for about £279, which is around 354 American dollars. Opening up the box, you are greeted with a manual which you will probably never read, as well as a hard disk installation manual, so you have the option to install a 2.5 inch drive as well as the NVMe if you want to. For first impressions, this thing weighs absolutely nothing, like even compared to its peers like an Intel NUC, this thing only weighs 434 grams. That's actually less than Noctua's smallest CPU cooler, the L9i, which comes in at 460 grams. So it's not like you're going to be carrying this around a lot, but it's nice nonetheless. Now taking a look inside the accessories box, you're actually given quite a few things. You're given a SATA ribbon cable as a spare, in case you break the other one. You get a VESA mounting brackets and the AC power adapter. You're actually given two HDMI cables, so depending whether you want to have it just laying flat on your desk or mounted to your monitor or something like that. Then you're given your AC power cable and all the mounting screws you need if you want to mount it somewhere. On the front, from left to right, you're given a clear CMOS button, two USB-A 3.2s, a USB-C, but I don't know what spec because it doesn't say in the manual. You're also given a headphone jack and a power button. And the back, you've got gigabit LAN, two USB-As again, but one for your peripherals, DisplayPort, HDMI, and your power socket. On the bottom, you've got four screws holding everything together, and what's really nice is they give you like a little rubber pulley thing, so you don't have to pry it open with a flathead screwdriver. Now, when you're opening it, be careful, because there's that SATA ribbon like I mentioned before. They do give you a spare one, but this thing is absolutely tiny, so it'd be pretty easy to rip it off. Here's a close-up of the RAM that they give you, just in case you're curious. It did come out of the box at 3200 MHz, which is nice. Another nice thing that they give you is a little heatsink for your NVMe, which not a lot of companies do. It looks like it's a Crucial P3+, so pretty much a standard NVMe that you usually get off Amazon for about £40, $50. It is a Gen 4 by 4 NVMe, if you were curious. Taking a look at some benchmarks now, you get 1472 on the single core, which is about the same as a 3500 or an i5 9600. And for multi-core, you got 5911, which is around about the same as an i7 8700 or an 1800X. So not too bad, to be honest, when you consider the tiny size of it. Looking at the graphics score, you've got 13479. Remember, this is running integrated graphics, so you're not going to be breaking any records with this. For Time Spy, we've got an overall score of 1355 with 1198 on the graphics and 5312 on the CPU. Now let's look at some games in order from easiest to run to hardest. As always, we've got SSX3 to start with. 3 times native resolution and it runs buttery smooth, so very, very playable experience, would recommend. Next up, we have Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, again at 3 times native resolution in PCSX2, and still buttery smooth, very playable experience, no problems here at all. Anything higher than 3 times native though, you'll start to get a bit of slowdown, but 3 times looks just fine. Moving on to PC games now, first we've got Ballistic NG at 1080p maximum. I'm getting an average of 93.2, and not once did it go below 60. Very easy to run, very nice to look at, no issues at all.
Perfect lap.
Here we've got BattleBit averaging at 92 FPS at 1080p high. Obviously it's a low resolution game, so that does help. Very playable. I had a great time with this. Doesn't feel like it's a tiny PC at all. Like, there was no slowdowns. 1% lower, 58.8 FPS. So yeah, really, really playable. No complaints from me at all. For Doom Eternal, the performance does take a bit of a hit. We're at 1080p low and averaging 52 with a minimum of 38.9. This game is playable, don't get me wrong, but it is not a perfect experience, so you will feel a bit of slowdowns. But if you just want to play the game, it will run it fine. Just don't expect it to blow your mind with how good it looks. And last 4 games, we've got PUBG running at 1080p low and averaging 30.1. This game was very consistent. It was always between 25 and 30. So in that sense, like, it's playable, but it's sort of like playing it on a PS3. Not very fun. But if you just want to try it out, you can get by on it, but not very enjoyable. I wouldn't recommend this PC for this game specifically. In conclusion, what do I think of the SER5? First, I just want to note how silent this thing is. Like, compared to every other mini PC I've used, even under load, this thing is so quiet. Like, the fan will barely even spin up. You just can't hear it. It's really incredible what they've done. Like, I've not changed the fan profile or anything or gone into the BIOS and played with it. Out of the box, absolutely silent. Very impressive. And again, this thing just sips power. Like, at idle, it's 7 watts, which is nothing. And under load, it's about 40. The maximum I've ever managed to pull out of it is 43.5. And apart from, like, the highest end games, like, this thing can do everything. So I don't know what Beelink are doing, but they're doing it right. I really recommend this system. So if you want to pick up one of these, I'll leave the link in the description, and I'll see you in the next video.